Hello everyone, hope you're well. So as you can see, today is a beautiful day. There's a harbor here, Victoria Harbor in Hong Kong. So today the topic is a little bit different. It's more about the current situation in the world and how this will affect you when it comes to the basically political geopolitics between USA and China. Before we go into it, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. If you have subscribed, thank you so much. Or share this video with the people that you think might be of help. All right. The reason I cover this is because it's easier. Otherwise, the wind will blow. So let's go into it. So what is happening in this world is basically a little bit chaotic because many things happen at the same time. And to put it in perspective, it's not much about the trade deficit between the US or China, the US and the world, whatever reason. There is a deeper geopolitics that's happening in the world. So this is my take. There is a lot of things that people think that is because of the trade deficit. It's always built up from something long time ago. You know, when greed of all companies that wants to make a lot of money, have cheap labor, so they found a way always to basically cut costs. So they found other countries in the beginning, like Germany, and then Germany becomes wealthy, and then there is of course a huge trade deficit. Then they settle down, and then with Japan, the same thing. But with China, it's very different because China is a very big population. That's number one. Okay, you're dealing with 1.4 billion people. With Germany and Japan was slightly smaller than the US compared. So that's number one. The huge population. Number two, even though China GDP per capita doubled, become half of the US, it will never easily catch up to become basically the same GDP per capita like the US. Maybe in the next 50, 60 years or after the next century, maybe it will. But it will take a lot of time because you're dealing with a huge population. And number two, the biggest one is more about the technology. So as you know, there is two kinds of huge technology. One is America and one is China. And that's the biggest one in the world. Because Europe, of course, they have technology, but European, Canadian, Australia, or other well-developed country, even Japan, technology, most of them being bought by a big firm that is related to the US. So the US becomes still very powerful to take over those technologies company. But they cannot easily take over the Chinese company, like you can see the geopolitics about other companies like TikTok, Huawei, and so and that's why they put sanction on. Because they even want to buy it and they couldn't. So that's the main thing is that there's two very huge geopolitics topics going on, and that is of course the technology war. It's much more than the trade war. The trade war easily can be resolved. To be honest, it sounds weird, but it can. But as an economist myself and also a finance background and understanding business, then these things can be easily be covered. But it's much more than that. So the deeper issue is like was the great former finance minister of Greek says Yanis, and he's amazing because he basically wrote a book also about it and also talk about this issue. And if these kind of things happens a lot of world in the world, then you don't want to have a monopoly. So it's better indeed to have many people develop technology so that technology become cheaper. You know, like the recent example of ChatGPT versus DeepSeek. Of course, people claim about other things. Just put aside those discussion, but it's cheaper, right? And it's also possible. So that's why it's good to have many companies compete each other because then the consumer will win, but not with trade war. Otherwise, the consumer will lose. In the end the end of the day, the consumer will always pay for the huge tariffs. Okay, the huge tax. Okay, tariff is basically a tax or duty. Okay. So I hope this will help you a little bit to put it into concept what is currently happening in this world. The time of recording is now the 9th of April, and I hope you are aware about these two big things happening in the world and how you can navigate it. All right, cool. Let's have an update in a few months' time, and then we can see where the markets are going. But all in all, even though in this day and age with this dip of the world's economy, there's also opportunity. So chaos also create opportunity. So you have to find your opportunity whichever way you want to go. So as Warren Buffett famously says, that be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy. So you know where we are. All right, cool. Take care, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe or like or share this video with other people. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.